All right, this story is about the invisible monster
What is that?
that when the monster only shows himself when he wants you to see him. And when you see him, the second you see him, you die instantly. Your eyes bleed and you fall to the floor and you
Why?
die because of the way he looks. It just makes your eyes just start melting and blood come out of your eyes. So what
What
happened?
does he look like?
Nobody knows because every time you see him, you die. So whoever sees him, you die. Nobody knows what he looks like.
Unless you have metal in your eyes that you only see like a tiny pinch of an ant.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but so what happened was nobody knew about this monster that came out of nowhere. Nobody knows where he came from, but he
I think
came.
he came from the woods.
That's what they say. He came from the woods, and then one day he decided to just go and do a lot of crazy. He came out of the woods.
What does he do to you else?
No, that's it. So what happens is the wind when he starts to come out, he has a lot of wind with him. So you once you see the wind going crazy and swirling, you know that he's about to come up. He's about to show his himself.
So
And
so 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 what happens if you like turn around and he's showing you?
then you're safe. If you turn around, you're safe. If you put your hands over your eyes, you're safe. He doesn't touch you. He does not touch you. He only looks at you when you
Does he
look
have
at him.
sharp nails?
I don't know, but he doesn't touch you. He doesn't hurt you with the nails or any weapons. You so what happened was nobody knew about this. So when he came out for the first time, everybody was leaving their eyes open and they were looking at him and they were all dying. Their eyes were melting and blood was coming out of their eyeballs and they were dying. So almost everybody died. By the time they people figured out what was going on, that they needed to stay inside because he doesn't go inside your house. He doesn't go inside. He stays outside. So once people figured out that he stays outside, people went and kept inside. They left their curtains closed the window. They put blinds on their windows, and they put
What are blinds?
blinds are like what we have in the kitchen that they go up and down, and they're like a bunch of little pieces of wood that go across in the kitchen window.
Look like when you look at it, you get blind.
Yeah, so you know how we close the blinds or we open them sometimes to look outside the kitchen window in the backyard. Those are blinds. So people close their blinds so that way they couldn't see outside. Because if you're inside your house and you look outside and you see the monster, that's it. Is you're done. Your eyes are gonna melt. So that's what happened. So people stayed inside, and then they had to wear blind. If they had to go outside, they had to wear blindfolds. They would put like these pieces of shirts on their eyes, and then they would leave their house to go to the supermarket, but they had to leave their eyes covered. They could not see anything, so they had to go, like they were the eyes closed, super hard to do. There was like nothing was open, so you had like nobody was at the stores. They were just open, so because like everybody was dead. Everybody. There was no TV, no nothing. Whoever lived, you had to just find a way to survive. So what happened was there was this girl that had two kids that she survived, and she saw all her friends and families. They all had their eyes melted by the monster because they didn't know. But she found out. She was smart. She found out. She put blindfolds on her and the kids when they went outside. They would go walking to the supermarket, and the monster would always try to get her. Right? And and the wind would start kicking up, and the monster could talk, and the monster would say, "Look at me, look at me. Take off your blindfolds. Look at me. I'm beautiful," he would say. "I'm beautiful. Look at me." And she told her kids, whatever you hear, whatever you do not take off your blindfolds. Because if you do take off your blindfolds, this is the last day that you are going to be alive. That's it. You you take off your blindfold, you're going to die. No matter what. No matter what. You never take off your blindfolds. And that's how they lived until one day there was a big storm that came by and broke all the windows in their house. So now they couldn't even be inside the house because without windows, the monster could see her inside the house.
What about you can just lay on the ground?
That's good. You can lay on the ground, but eventually you got to get up to go get food to eat. You have to use the bathroom. You had to, that you need to live in a place with closed windows and doors, so that way you're safe. So she had a little boat, so she jumped on the boat with a blanket, and she took her two kids and went on the boat and went down the river. And the storm came, and it was super windy, and the monster wanted her to take off her blindfolds. Take off your blindfolds, and the monster was trying to use the wind to make the blindfolds come off of her face and the kid's face, and she was holding it on, and there was a little boy and a little girl, and they were holding it on, and they were going, no matter what. They never took off the blindfolds, and they went for 3 days on this river, down this river in the boat. And finally, they got to the end of the river, and they got off of the boat, and they had, through walkie-talkies, they spoke to another person that was living at the end of the river with a whole bunch of other people. They had like a whole little city of survivors. So she goes and she quickly is running, and she has a blindfold and she falls. She falls, and the little kids don't know where she went because she fell down this hole. And now the kids are by themselves, and the monster starts telling them, "Little kids, take off your blindfolds. I'm beautiful. Look at me. Look at me." And the boy knew.
I think he looks like a tree.
The boy knew not to do it, and the girl knew too, but she wanted to take off the blindfold. She took off her blindfold, and she had her eyes closed. She was about to open them, but their mom climbed out of the hole, went running with a blindfold, couldn't see anything, and started screaming out, "No, don't take off your blindfold. No, don't open your eyes. Do not open your eyes." And right when she was about to open her eyes like this and look at the monster, the mom came and grabbed her and put her hands on her eyes and said, "I told you, don't ever take off your blindfold. You will die if you look. If you look, you die." So they finally made it to the town where all the people were living, and they were protected in the town because they were living in this big building that had everything blocked, so the monster couldn't see inside. And she made it, and they said to her, "You're safe with your kids." So that is the story.
I know a way to kill that monster. When he says, "Look at me," and you have your blindfolded, and then and if you're like a superhero, you can jump over him, and you have a knife, and you can put it on his back.
Yeah, but you can't see him. You can't look, so you can't even see his back. You don't see anything, because the moment you open your eyes, the second you see him, your eyes melt. Blood comes out, and then you drop to the floor. You're dead. Game over. What do you think of the story?
Good.
All right. You want to say a story?
Yeah, I'm gonna think.
Do you want to say anything to YouTube?
No.
Okay.
Okay, now I know.
Go ahead.
So this is about the ring,
Okay.
and there's two monsters. Another one is too scary to name for you. I think you're gonna a little bit cry, so I'm not gonna say it. Okay.
No, don't say anything like too scary. That's gonna make me cry.
So yeah, if you say like that name, then the person will come after you.
Okay.
And do you know what it's gonna do if you say or the person's name?
No.
She has two knives and she puts it in her belly, and then she like puts like she has potions that make you turn into something that makes you turn into a game that you can't do anything, that you're in a jail cell of lava.
A jail cell of lava. That's scary.
Yeah, and now we're something in my story. So one time ago, there's a guy. His mom always let him play like 10 games, but this time he played 33 games. And then he saw something up his tablet and he pressed on it. And then it was a thing that it was a ring, and then he she popped out, and I remember watching a little bit of the ring, and then
You've never seen The Ring, but go ahead.
I did.
Okay. I told you about it.
And then like um it's and then what happened, the ring got him, and then he turned into a bad person too.
Mm-hmm.
And then they both went out to make more bad persons.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much survivors. Even everybody in New York, but one person died in New York. You know how?
How?
Because the other monster was there.
That's a good story. Super scary. I don't
It's a
know.
short one.
I like it. I don't know how you do it, but your stories are so good. So scary. All right. Say bye.
Bye.